Hey guys, it's me, 87 for 4. Today, guys, I want to talk to you guys about Valencia 1, Barcelona 4. Guys, I gotta say, this was a big win indeed. And I'm just absolutely amazed. I'm surprised that we put out that kind of a great display because I had a feeling we would win the game, but that wasn't my concern. But it was more of, can we put out a dominant performance and really show a much needed win? Because not only was this win great, it was also a huge performance. And I'm starting to see what Xavi's trying to implement with this team. And what my biggest takeaway from the season has been that we have played really well, is just we have been very inconsistent. There's been so many games in which we should have won. There's been games that we really should be winning. Because if you look at the season as a whole, guys, I think overall speaking, I think this has been a good season. Now, I know people look in the Champions League and all that, and yes, I will admit that's a big disappointment. But I think it was more of the issues were more of just based upon what Koeman did with the team. Not necessarily Xavi's fault, so I'm not going to put too much blame on Xavi for that. But anyways, let's get back to this game, guys. And I look at the lineup that Xavi put out in this game. You could say to yourself, wow, you brought Araujo, you started Araujo in this game, you started Gavi in this game, you benched Pedri, you benched Traore. And it shows how much this depth that Barca team has. That you can make these changes and it won't really be that significant. Like if you take, like for instance, right, if you bench De Jong, I was actually expecting De Jong to be benched. I didn't think, I knew Gavi would play in the midfield. But I had a feeling that Frankie De Jong would be benched because of that game he had against Napoli. And I just think that for me, it's very important that we keep we keep having this rotation of players because, like I said, I don't want Pedri to go through another injury like he did last season. Remember how Koeman basically overused him and he basically got injured because of him playing so many games. It's important that we keep don't overuse Pedri. So it's nice to see that we're actually having competition for Pedri. You have Gavi, Nico Gonzalez. These two players are coming to fruition. And I think for Dembele in particular, I think he had a very interesting game because obviously I think he put out a good display, and I think he's showing that he still has a lot of contributions. He's like I said, I ideally would like for Dembele to stay, but it's just his wage demands is really my big issue there. That's my big issue with Dembele is that his wage demands are so high that it is essentially ruining this team. Because I'm telling you this right now, guys, if his wage demands weren't that high, he probably would be renewed by now. But anyways, so yeah. Let's start with that first goal. Okay. That first goal from Aubameyang is class. Pure striker instinct finishing. Okay. Jordi Alba puts a ball over the top for Aubameyang, and you got to give credit to Aubameyang there. Because like I said, it's important that you finish those opportunities. Because we have seen a lot of times this season that without a striker, we have been struggling to score those goals put in the back of the net. Depay hasn't been clinical enough. Ferran Torres has not been playing well recently. Some players need to step it up, and I think that cross from Jordi Alba was a great cross. The second goal was a great team play goal. It starts from Alba to Dembele to Aubameyang. Not Aubameyang. Frankie De Jong, and it's 2-0. Great team play goal. And then that third goal, once again, Alba got involved again. Alba got involved again for Dembele, and Dembele to Gavi, and to Aubameyang, 3-0. And at halftime there, we were 3-0 up. Now, we got to keep this in context here, though. Valencia did have 2 goals disallowed in the first half. We got to talk about those 2 goals. Let's start with the first goal, 26th minute. Valencia scored. It was offside. It didn't count. And for me, Ter Stegen's clearance for that goal was very poor. The second goal, the goal didn't count because it went out of bounds. It went out of bounds, and I believe who scored the goal? I forgot who scored the goal. Let me see if I can find. Carlos Soler. Carlos Soler scored that goal. Didn't count. And at halftime, I was like, okay, 3-0 up. But remember, guys, we had a very similar game we had played this season. Remember we played Celta Vigo away. We were 3-0 up. We saw a great team performance. But then the injuries kind of demotivated the team, it seemed. Thankfully for us, it didn't happen like that. But it very well could have. Because in the second half, Mingueza came on, and I was very concerned. I was very concerned when Mingueza came on. And that's for me it was not that great. I was very concerned because I thought Eric Garcia for me had a decent game. Mingueza comes on, and you could see how this team started to lose control the second half. The team started to lose balance. The team wasn't playing as energetic as they were, and Valencia was starting to grow in the game. In fact, they started to grow to the point they even scored a goal. Brian Gillo puts a cross into the back post. Silla is there for the easy header, and it is 3-1. And at this point, I was very concerned that they could make the comeback because this is their stadium. This is a stadium We're playing away. Those fears of a comeback could happen. We all know what happens when we're 3-0 up. A lot of bad things have happened. And you could tell that it was getting very nervy. And I gotta commend Xabi there for actually taking up Jong, who even scored a goal for us, and brings on Pedri. Pedri comes on. A few minutes later, he scores an absolute screamer to make it 4-1. And at this point, I'm like, it's game, set, match. Valencia did have a few opportunities to reduce the deficit 4-2, and I believe Ter Stegen had to make a couple of saves there. But all in all, it was a comfortable win for Barcelona. Barcelona were never really threatened much in the entirety of this game. And I'm going to show you the stats right here, guys, because Barca were very clinical in this game. Barca were very clinical in this game. 64% possession, 36 for them, and 6 shots, 4 big chances, 1 big chance missed. You can see the overall stats. We had 6 shots, 6 on target, and we dominated. Whereas Valencia, they had double the amount of shots, but they weren't clinical whatsoever. That's the big difference between us and them, is that we were clinical and they weren't, which is something that I wouldn't be expecting to say, because, you look at the game we played against Napoli midweek. We really should have scored more than 1 goal, and it shows that we can be clinical when it matters. And I think for Xabi in particular, I think what he should do is try to use the same 11 against Napoli. Obviously, Napoli would play a lot better than Valencia did, because let's be real, Valencia were not very good in this game for the most of the game. And I can assure you that right now that this will be a lot more competitive. I think Napoli will give it more of a go. They're playing at home as well. So it's important that we score that first goal. But like I said, though, as much as I praise this performance, I still have to say the second half of the team wasn't that great. And that's my issue, is that you can't really keep doing these kind of second half performances and expect to get away with it. Because look at the teams like we're going to play against Athletic Club soon, right? Imagine we were 3-0 up against them at home. They're going to still be eyeing revenge. They're going to still want to get something from that game, because Athletic Club is that kind of team, So like I said, very, very huge, important 3 points. You guys can see the table right now, guys. We actually find ourselves to be 42 points, level on points with Atletico Madrid, having played a game less than them. So, that's very interesting. Obviously, Betis are playing right now. Let's see who they're playing against. I think they're playing against Mallorca. So, hopefully Mallorca can do their job, or at least Betis drop points so we can jump ahead of them, So it'll be very interesting to see what happens from there. Like I said, guys, it'll be very interesting. Obviously, a lot of the top forwards, very interesting, guys, very competitive indeed. And I'm so confident that we can get top 4, guys. I've said this before, guys, very confident. As far as my man of the match is concerned, it has to be Aubameyang. Scoring the brace, was one of the best players today. I thought he had a great game. Absolute great game indeed. Now, I do have to call out Ferran Torres, because he didn't do anything in this game. Absolutely nothing he did in this game. And I'm thinking to myself, Ferran Torres, I like you as a player. I think you're still a great player, but it is time for you to get benched. And for Xavi in particular, I would actually consider benching him for that game against Napoli. Or at the very least, give him one more chance, and then if he doesn't do well, please bench him. Because like I said, guys, Ferran Torres didn't do anything this game. Now, obviously, I know he's very young. Like I said, he's very young, playing against his former team. So, of course, I can understand maybe why he didn't really have that great of a game, because, going against a former team is not a very easy thing to do. But still, you have to do a lot better than this. I'm very disappointed with him. So, like I said, overall, I'm very happy with the win. There's not really much else to elaborate from here. Like I said, guys, I'll be doing my match preview for the game against Napoli on Wednesday, and hopefully I can see you guys then. So, like I said, if you do enjoy this content, I recommend you hit the subscribe button down below. Like this video, it helps the channel grow. Comment down below your thoughts. And make sure you guys check out me and my other podcasts in the description below, my Twitter, Discord, email, and Twitch. And I'll see you guys later. Peace out.